just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed. Nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head. They keep falling.
Hi there, welcome to my weekly messages. I'm Jalailah Star. Today the topic is letting go frees money to flow. The inspiration behind this is once again something very personal. God, I feel like my whole life is out there on YouTube right now. But anyway, that was what I agreed to do when I started this work, so it's happening. Anyway, this one comes about as a result of finding out just another way that we might be blocking the flow of money. In the past, I've talked about things that you can do if you're blocking money, such as think of 5 things to be grateful for, give away some money. I think there's several YouTube videos about that. But if you do that and it's still blocked, then you got to go to another step. So here's another step. Sometimes we're holding on to something so tightly and we're giving so much energy to it that we're running in the red. In other words, we're running energetically at a deficit because we're over giving to this one thing that we're holding on to so tightly. And when we let go of that, when we release that, then it frees up all this energy. And it takes new energy. It takes energy and reserve to support something new coming in, whether it be a new opportunity or money or whatever, even a new relationship. You have to have energy and reserve to support something new. Otherwise, everything just kind of remains the same, and you still spin your wheels, and feel like you're not going anywhere. So, the story behind how I discovered this time, because I did a huge let go this past week, and the money did start flowing. Like I said, it comes from my family. So, very quickly, here's what happened. As many of you know, if you followed my weekly messages, I've, ever since my father's death 3 years ago in March of 2009, I have really been focusing on this idea of reuniting with family. Now, part of the reason I have been so focused on that is because I was told years ago by the guides that one of the big tests of your ability to ascend or your level of consciousness and how far you're going to get during this big shift of the ages is going to be determined by how you can apply what you have gone out there and learned back here in 3D. And one of the biggest tests is, can you reunite with your family and create some kind of a bond? Because many of us have left our families behind and said, they don't believe like we do, they don't think like we do, so I'm just going to go off and create a new family. Okay. And that's all fine and good. And, to some degree, you have to do that when you're moving out of the box, so to speak, and you're going out and you're learning something new. You have to kind of disconnect and put your heart into that. But once you've done it, then you got to come full circle and try to apply it. That's like, you go through school and you take all these classes, but then you have to have your finals. So reuniting with the family is your final, because the reason for that is because your family represents your biggest lessons. It represents your biggest blocks, your biggest fears, the things you need to integrate the most, because those are the soul contracts you made with individuals to show you the deepest parts of yourself that you wanted to change. So if you can reconnect with them and integrate with them, then you've got it. So I started back in March of 2009. And I've been really focused on this ever since. Well, in the interim, we've had more family members pass. My son passed in the following October, and then my brother passed about this time last year. He took his life by suicide. So when he died, it was a real wake-up call. I mean, when my dad died, we all go, oh yeah, we were a very disconnected family. We're all living in different parts of the country. Yeah, we got to be a family. Yeah. And okay, so we went along for a while, And in 2.5 years, we had made some progress, but not a tremendous amount of progress. But then when my brother took his life, whoa, it's like, wow, we were slammed by that. We're like, oh my gosh, another family member is gone, and this one should not have gone so early. So it really amped up this thing about trying to bring the family together so that the ones that are left, we've now gone from 8 to 6, are more of a family. Well, there's a challenge in this, in the fact that not only the brother who passed, but 2 of my other brothers, we have since discovered, have what we have now coined the family curse. And when he killed himself, it made me go and research our family history, and I realized that we've had 5 or 6 suicides in 3 generations, and this depression, 2 different forms of depression, run through my family lines on both sides, and this is not something to just ignore. So it really woke us up, and I realized it was going to be much harder for us to reunite as a family because 2 of my other brothers, I have 5 brothers, so there's 6 of us kids. 3 of us got these, had this depression, and 3 of us don't. So the other 2 of my brothers who have it, it's very hard to have a relationship with them. Both of them have left the family. Both of them are just kind of out there hanging on the edge. And so we were really working hard to try to bring them back in now that we knew how to understand them. But I realized that, I was giving a lot of time and energy to doing this. And the harder it got, the more I gave. So then, after we buried my brother, Keith, out in Colorado, and we did reunite, we did come together as a family. All of us were on the same page over that funeral, over what to do about Keith once we discovered his remains, because we couldn't find him for 9 months after he took his life. So anyway, we were all on the same page, and that was the reunion, or the reuniting that I needed to do. I now understand. One of my dogs is shaking back here. That's maybe he's waking up from his nap. So anyway, so what happened was afterwards, one of my brothers who has been, he does not have the depression, but he's been kind of like always doing his own thing, and he's into Hebrew roots, and he's very strong into his religion. He did something that really hurt me. He just blindsided me with it. And what it did was a gift, because it made me step back and finally look at what I had been doing. I had been working overtime trying to get this family together, not realizing that the reunion that I needed to achieve, I had already achieved, and I was now still giving way too much energy to this. So on top of what he did blindsiding me at the same time, I looked at my accounting and I realized that, my finances were way down from where they should have been because I had not been giving a whole lot of energy to my work. And I was like, wow, I just really need to step back from this. I finally get it. I mean, I'd ask my guys, what is causing all this? Why is this happening? And it's because I was working too hard at trying to make something happen. I was not letting go of it once I should have already let go. So I let go, and immediately, the money started flowing again. So long story short, if you're finding that being grateful and giving money away is not working, maybe you're holding on to something really, really hard, really tight, and you're overextending yourself energetically, and you're burning up all of your energy with that thing that is not giving you back an equal amount to sustain you. So you need to let it go. As soon as you do, have a windfall. So that's it. Have a great week. Talk to you next.
Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying